Commander Jake Morrison watched the huge alien ships come closer to Earth's space station. The metal giants moved slowly through the black space like sleeping monsters. Jake had never seen ships this big before. His hands shook a little as he held his coffee cup. The aliens called themselves the Vexitari. They looked like tall humans, but their skin was blue and their eyes were bright yellow. They wore long white robes that made them look important. Their leader was named Zarthok, and he smiled too much. Admiral Lisa Hayes stood next to Jake on the bridge. She was reading reports on her tablet. The numbers made her frown. These alien ships were old, very old. The metal was rusty and the engines were weak. But Earth needed warships badly. 3 months ago, humans learned they were not alone in space. Other races had been watching Earth for years. Some of them were friendly, but others were not. The Vexitari said they wanted to help humans. They offered to sell Earth their old warships for 50 billion credits. Lieutenant Ben Carter spoke from his chair near the computers. His voice was nervous. "Sir, the alien ambassador wants to talk to us now." Jake nodded. "Put him on screen." Zarthok appeared on the big screen. His yellow eyes looked happy. Behind him, Jake could see the alien ships floating in space. They were huge, but something about them looked wrong. The metal was dark and old. Some parts looked like they had been fixed many times. "Hello, humans," Zarthok said in perfect English. "Today is a great day for your people. We offer you these fine warships. They defended our worlds for many years. Now they can protect Earth." Captain Amy Rodriguez was Earth's best ship engineer. She looked at her scanner and shook her head. The readings were bad. Very bad. The ship hulls were cracked. The weapons were old and weak. The engines barely worked. Amy whispered to Admiral Hayes, "Ma'am, these ships are junk. The hulls are falling apart. The weapons are from 50 years ago. The engines will break down in a few months." Admiral Hayes looked tired. Earth had been searching for ships to buy for 3 months. The Vexitari were the only aliens willing to sell to humans. Other races either ignored Earth or asked for prices that were too high. Humanity needed protection soon. "How much do you want for all of them?" Admiral Hayes asked Zarthok. The alien's smile grew bigger. 50 billion of your credits. A very fair price for such mighty vessels." Jake almost choked on his coffee. 50 billion credits was most of Earth's money. But the alternative was having no defense at all. Reports said hostile aliens were moving toward human space. Earth needed ships now, even if they were old ones. Dr. Rachel Martin was studying the weapons data. She was Earth's top weapons scientist. The alien plasma cannons looked impressive, but the energy readings were weak. A human fighter jet could probably do more damage. "Admiral," Dr. Martin said quietly, "these weapons are almost useless. They fire weak plasma bolts that move slowly. Any decent shield could stop them." Kevin Adams was the propulsion expert. He was looking at the engine specifications. His face showed disappointment. "The fusion reactors are ancient. They produce maybe 20% of what modern engines should make. These ships will be slow and hard to fuel." Admiral Hayes felt frustrated. The alien ships were terrible, but Earth had no choice. Intelligence reports said 3 different hostile races were planning to attack human colonies within 6 months. Earth needed any ships it could get. Zarthok waited patiently for an answer. Behind his friendly smile, Jake could see something else. The alien looked pleased, like he was about to make a great deal. Other Vexitari on his ship were trying not to laugh. "We need time to think," Admiral Hayes said. Zarthok's smile faded a little. "Of course, but do not wait too long. Other races might want these ships. The Krillians were asking about them yesterday." Jake doubted any race would want these old ships. But Admiral Hayes had to make a choice. Earth could buy junk ships or have no ships at all. The decision was easy, but it hurt to make. "We'll take them," Admiral Hayes announced. Zarthok's smile returned full strength. "Excellent. We will begin transfer immediately. Payment must be made in full before the ships are yours." The human officers looked unhappy. They were spending their planet's savings on ships that barely worked. But what choice did they have? The universe was dangerous and Earth was defenseless. Over the next 6 hours, the aliens transferred ownership of 47 warships to humanity. Each ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. They looked impressive from the outside, but Jake knew they were worthless inside. The Vextari collected their 50 billion credits and prepared to leave. Zarthok made a final speech about friendship between their races. He promised the Vextari would remember Earth kindly. After the aliens left, Admiral Hayes called a meeting. All the top officers and scientists gathered in the conference room. The mood was dark. "I know what you're all thinking," Admiral Hayes said. "We just bought the most expensive junk in the galaxy, but we had no choice." Captain Rodriguez spoke first. "Ma'am, these ships will fall apart if we try to use them in battle. The hulls are cracked, the weapons are toys. The engines will explode if we push them hard," Dr. Martin agreed. "The technology is decades behind what we expected. These ships couldn't fight off a cargo transport." Kevin Adams added his concerns. "The fuel systems are so inefficient that each ship will cost millions of credits just to move around." Jake listened to the complaints and felt angry. The Vextari had cheated them. They sold Earth garbage and pretended it was treasure. But getting angry would not help now. "So what do we do?" Jake asked. Admiral Hayes looked around the room at Earth's best minds. "We do what humans have always done when someone gives us junk. We take it apart and build something better." The room fell quiet. Everyone understood what she meant. They would strip every alien system and rebuild it from scratch. It would take years of work, but humans were good at solving problems. "Dr. Martin, you'll lead weapons development. Kevin will handle propulsion. Amy will manage ship construction. We're going to turn these alien junkers into real warships." The meeting ended with new determination. The Vextari thought they had fooled humanity. They sold Earth-broken ships and expected humans to be grateful. Soon they would learn that humans don't stay fooled for long. 6 months later, Mars Colony looked like the busiest place in the solar system. The red planet's shipyards never slept. Lights blazed through the Martian night as thousands of workers rebuilt the alien ships. Chief Engineer Danny Brooks had gathered the best minds from every corporation and university on Earth and Mars. Danny stood in the main hangar looking at the first alien cruiser. Workers swarmed over it like ants on a sandwich. Sparks flew as cutting torches removed old alien systems. The ship barely looked like the same vessel the Vextari had sold them. "Strip everything," Danny told his team. "Every bolt, every wire, every computer chip. We're starting over from the beginning." The work was harder than anyone expected. Alien technology was completely different from human designs. Simple tasks took hours to figure out. But slowly, the human workers learned how the alien systems worked. Dr. Rachel Martin led the weapons research team in Lab 7. She had been studying Vexitari plasma cannons for months. The alien weapons looked impressive, but they worked poorly. Dr. Martin discovered the aliens used old-fashioned methods. That wasted most of the energy. "Look at this." She showed her team a holographic display of the plasma cannon's inside parts. "The aliens fire energy in straight lines, but if we spin the plasma as it moves forward, we can triple the power." Her assistant, Tony Kim, ran the computer simulation. The results amazed everyone. The human design would hit 3 times harder than the original alien weapon using the same amount of energy. In the engine laboratory, Kevin Adams was revolutionizing alien propulsion systems. The Vextari fusion reactors were simple but inefficient. They burned fuel like old cars burned gasoline. Kevin had a better idea. "The aliens use 1 fusion chamber," he explained to his engineering team. "But what if we use 5 chambers in sequence? Each one makes the fusion reaction stronger than the one before it." The test results were incredible. Kevin's cascading reactor design produced 5 times more power than the alien original. The new engines would make human ships faster and more efficient than anything in the galaxy. Lieutenant Colonel Steve Harrison, overseeing military aspects of the project, watched the first test firing on Mars. The modified plasma cannon lit up the desert like a small sun. The blast crater was 4 times bigger than what the alien weapon could make. "Ma'am," he reported to Admiral Hayes on Earth, "I think we found something amazing here." The human workers discovered problems with every alien system. The computers were slow and used old programming. The life support systems barely kept crews alive. The armor was thin and weak in all the wrong places, but each problem became a chance for human innovation. Programmer Lisa Wong rewrote the alien computer systems using human artificial intelligence. The new computers could think and react faster than any alien system. Environmental engineer Mark Davis redesigned the life support to work better in combat. The alien systems shut down when the ship was damaged. Mark's design kept working even when half the ship was destroyed. Materials scientist Patricia Stone developed new armor using human manufacturing techniques. The alien plates were made from single metals that cracked easily. Patricia created layered armor that bent instead of breaking. The first rebuilt ship was ready for testing in 9 months. They renamed it the USS Freedom and painted it in Earth's colors. From the outside, it looked similar to the original alien design, but inside everything was completely new and human-made. Captain Amy Rodriguez commanded the Freedom's first test flight. The ship moved through space like a hunting cat instead of the slow whale it had been before. The new engines responded instantly to commands. The weapons hit targets with perfect accuracy. "This is unbelievable," Captain Rodriguez reported to Mars Control. "The ship handles like a fighter but hits like a battleship. Whatever we did to it worked perfectly." Word spread quickly through the human fleet reconstruction project. If they could rebuild one ship this successfully, they could rebuild all of them. The work pace increased as more scientists and engineers joined the project. Dr. Sarah Johnson led the shield development team. The alien shields were weak and used too much power. Sarah's team created rotating energy fields that bounced incoming attacks back at enemies. The new shields were stronger and used less energy than the alien originals. Communication specialist Brian Lewis rebuilt the alien sensor systems. The Vextari sensors could barely see past their own ships. Brian's new sensors could detect enemies light years away and track hundreds of targets at once. The second rebuilt ship, the USS Liberty, was completed 2 months later. Then came the USS Justice and the USS Victory. Each ship was better than the last as human engineers learned from their mistakes and made improvements. Admiral Hayes visited Mars to see the progress personally. She walked through the shipyards amazed by what she saw. The rusty alien hulks were becoming gleaming human warships. Each vessel bristled with weapons and armor that no alien race had ever imagined. "How many ships can we rebuild per month?" Admiral Hayes asked Danny Brooks. "At current pace, maybe 4 ships monthly," Danny replied. "But we're getting faster as more workers learn the techniques. By next year, we could finish 6 ships every month." The alien ships were becoming the foundation for something unprecedented. Human creativity was transforming galactic junk into technological marvels. Every system was rebuilt better, stronger, and more efficient than the alien originals. Intelligence reports from human scouts confirmed what everyone suspected. Other alien races were starting to notice human activity. The Krillian Empire had sent spy ships to observe Earth's colonies. The Zephyrian Federation was asking questions about human military capabilities. But the most interesting report came from Commander Susan Walsh. Her scout ship had encountered a Vextari trade convoy near the galactic rim. The alien ships looked exactly like the ones they had sold to Earth. But these Vextari ships worked perfectly, while the ones sold to humans had been deliberately broken. "They cheated us," Admiral Hayes realized when she read the report. "The Vextari sold us sabotaged ships expecting us to accept them as working vessels. Instead, humanity had torn apart every system and rebuilt everything from scratch." The aliens had accidentally given humans a complete education in their technology. Now human ships were better than anything the Vextari flew themselves. The revelation made the human workers even more determined. The Vextari had tried to cheat humanity and keep them weak. Instead, their deception had made humans stronger than they ever could have become otherwise. By the end of the year, 20 rebuilt ships patrolled human space. Each vessel was a masterpiece of human engineering, built on alien foundations but improved beyond recognition. The rusty warships had become the seeds of human technological revolution. News traveled fast in galactic space through quantum communication networks that connected dozens of alien civilizations. Reports about human military development reached Vexitari High Command within days of each successful ship launch. The initial reports were dismissed as impossible errors. Admiral Vexkoth commanded the Vextari Third Fleet from his flagship, the Eternal Glory. He was reviewing intelligence data about human activities when his science officer brought disturbing news. Human ships were appearing throughout local space sectors, and they looked nothing like the derelicts his people had sold them. "This cannot be accurate," Admiral Vexkoth muttered while studying sensor readings on his command screen. "These energy signatures are impossibly high. No primitive species develops technology this quickly." The Vextari had been selling obsolete ships to younger races for centuries. It was a profitable business that kept potential rivals weak while generating income for new Vextari military construction. The primitive species usually struggled to operate even broken alien technology for decades. But humans were different. The intelligence reports showed human ships generating power levels that exceeded current Vexitari military vessels. Their weapon signatures indicated destructive capabilities far beyond what should have been possible with sold technology. Science Officer Krellnax brought additional data to Admiral Vexkoth. "Sir, we have confirmed reports of human vessels engaging in combat exercises near their outer colonies. The recorded energy discharges are 3 times higher than our current plasma cannons produce." Admiral Vexkoth felt a cold sensation in his chest. If humans had somehow improved Vexitari technology to such levels, they represented a serious threat to galactic stability. The established order depended on keeping younger races technologically dependent. Meanwhile, on Earth, similar revelations were causing anger among human leadership. Commander Susan Walsh had returned from her reconnaissance mission to the Galactic Rim with evidence that changed everything humanity thought about their alien benefactors. Admiral Hayes convened an emergency meeting of the Global Defense Council in the secure conference room beneath Geneva. The attendees included every major military leader and scientist involved in the ship reconstruction project. "Commander Walsh, please present your findings," Admiral Hayes requested. Susan Walsh activated the holographic projector and displayed images from her recent scout mission. "Admiral, we encountered a Zephyrian trade convoy operating in neutral space. Their escort ships were identical in design to the vessels we purchased from the Vextari." The room fell silent as everyone studied the images. The Zephyrian ships looked exactly like human blueprints of the original alien vessels, but these ships showed none of the damage or wear that had characterized the ones sold to Earth. "The Zephyrian vessels were fully operational," Commander Walsh continued. "Their weapons functioned at full capacity. Their engines produced normal power levels. Their hull integrity was perfect." Dr. Patricia Cole, Earth's leading xenotechnology analyst, had been studying the evidence for weeks. She stood to present her conclusions. "Ladies and gentlemen, we were deliberately sold sabotaged equipment." Dr. Cole activated detailed technical schematics showing the differences between functional alien technology and what humans had received. Every critical system in the sold ships had been intentionally downgraded or damaged before delivery. "Look at these modification points," Dr. Cole indicated specific components on the display. The plasma cannon focusing arrays were cracked to reduce power output. The fusion reactor cooling systems were damaged to prevent full operation. The hull armor was chemically weakened to simulate age damage. The evidence was overwhelming. The Vextari had not sold humans outdated technology. They had sold them deliberately broken ships designed to keep humanity technologically dependent, while extracting maximum payment for worthless equipment. General Robert Hayes, Admiral Hayes's brother and commander of Mars Colony Defense, reviewed the implications. "This means every alien race we've encountered probably uses this same strategy. Keep the younger species weak by selling them junk while maintaining technological superiority." The revelation explained many puzzling aspects of galactic politics. Young races struggled for centuries to develop meaningful military capabilities. Older races maintained dominance through controlling access to functional technology. It was an economic system designed to prevent emerging civilizations from challenging established powers. But the Vextari had made a critical error in their assessment of humanity. They expected humans to accept broken technology and struggle, along with 20% efficiency for decades. Instead, humans had completely rebuilt every system from scratch. Dr. Rachel Martin realized the full scope of what had happened. "They accidentally gave us a complete education in their technology. By trying to cheat us, they provided templates we could study and improve upon." Kevin Adams agreed with the assessment. We learned more about fusion reactor design in 6 months than we might have discovered in 50 years of independent research. Their sabotaged systems showed us exactly how the technology worked. The Human Reconstruction Project had achieved something unprecedented in galactic history. Not only had they restored the sabotaged alien systems to full functionality, but they had improved every component beyond original specifications. Intelligence reports confirmed that other alien races were taking notice. Krillian spy ships had been detected near human colonies asking questions about Earth's new military capabilities. The Zephyrian Federation had requested information about human technological development through diplomatic channels. Most concerning were reports from the galactic frontier, where unknown hostile forces were probing human territory. These mysterious enemies had been testing human defenses for months, apparently expecting to find the same weak ships other races possessed. Admiral Hayes addressed the assembled council with new determination. The aliens thought they were keeping us weak and dependent. Instead, they provided the foundation for human technological independence. The rebuilt human fleet now numbered 37 operational warships, with more launching every month. Each vessel incorporated improvements that made them superior to anything the Vextari or other established races currently deployed in active service. But Admiral Hayes knew that revealing human capabilities too early could provoke a coordinated response from multiple alien powers. Earth needed time to build more ships and train crews before announcing their new technological status to the galaxy. We continue the reconstruction project, Admiral Hayes decided. But we also begin development of completely human-designed vessels using everything we've learned from alien technology. The order went out to every shipyard and research facility in human space. The next phase would involve building ships designed from the beginning as human weapons rather than rebuilt alien hulks. Dr. Martin began designing plasma weapons that incorporated human innovations from the start. Kevin Adams started work on fusion reactors that would power ships larger than anything currently flying in galactic space. The Vextari deception had backfired beyond their worst nightmares. Their broken gifts had become the foundation for human ascension to technological parity and potentially superiority over established galactic powers. Within 2 years, humanity would reveal their true capabilities to an unsuspecting galaxy. The Iowa rusty warships would be remembered as the catalyst that transformed Earth from a primitive client race into a major galactic power. 2 years after purchasing the Vextari ships, Luna's orbital shipyards had become the most advanced construction facility in known space. The massive ring of construction platforms orbited Earth's moon like a metallic crown. Inside the largest construction bay, humanity's greatest achievement neared completion. The USS Sovereign was not merely a rebuilt alien vessel. It represented everything humans had learned from studying and improving Vextari technology, combined with completely original human innovation. The ship stretched 5 kilometers from bow to stern, making it larger than anything any galactic civilization had ever constructed. Captain Greg Martinez stood on the Sovereign's bridge reviewing final system reports. The bridge alone was larger than most alien warships. Dozens of workstations surrounded the central command area, each one controlling systems that no other race had imagined possible. Engineering reports all fusion reactors operating at optimal levels, called Commander Nancy Rodriguez from the engineering station. The ship's power plant generated more energy than entire Vextari battle fleets, thanks to human improvements. In quantum fusion technology, the Sovereign's engines were masterpieces of human engineering. Instead of the single fusion chambers used by alien races, human designers had created cascading reactor systems that amplified power through multiple stages. The result was propulsion capability that could accelerate the massive ship faster than alien fighters. Chief Tactical Officer Ryan Campbell ran diagnostics on the weapon systems. Humanity had not simply improved alien plasma cannons. They had developed entirely new weapon concepts that existed nowhere else in the galaxy. The rail guns were purely human inventions. Magnetic acceleration systems launched solid projectiles at significant fractions of light speed. The projectiles carried no explosives, but their kinetic energy could punch through any known armor like it was paper. Particle beam weapons focused streams of charged particles into concentrated beams that could cut through starship hulls like laser cutters through cloth. The beams traveled at light speed, making them impossible to dodge once fired. The missile systems incorporated human artificial intelligence that allowed each projectile to think independently. The smart missiles could adapt to enemy countermeasures and find new attack vectors if their primary approach was blocked. But the Sovereign's most revolutionary feature was its adaptive shielding system. Human engineers had discovered that alien shield technology wasted enormous amounts of energy trying to stop everything equally. The human design analyzed incoming attacks and redirected their energy into the ship's own weapon systems. Word of the Sovereign's completion spread through galactic intelligence networks faster than human leaders expected. Species that had dismissed humanity as another primitive client race suddenly began paying very close attention to activities in Earth's solar system. The Vextari response was predictable and swift. Admiral Vexkoth received orders from High Command to deal with the human situation before it became a threat to established galactic order. A fleet of 40 warships, the largest Vextari military force assembled in decades, departed for Earth's solar system. "These humans have forgotten their proper place," Admiral Vexkoth announced to his fleet commanders during the final briefing. "We sold them broken ships to keep them weak. Instead, they have somehow created vessels that threaten galactic stability." The Vextari fleet included their most advanced warships equipped with weapons that had dominated galactic conflicts for centuries. Admiral Vexkoth was confident that 40 modern Vextari vessels could handle whatever primitive improvements humans had managed to achieve. On Earth, Admiral Hayes convened the Global Defense Council for what everyone knew might be humanity's final meeting as a free species. Intelligence reports confirmed that multiple alien fleets were approaching Earth's territory with hostile intentions. "The Vextari want to put us back in our place," Admiral Hayes announced to the assembled leaders. "They expect us to surrender our rebuilt ships and return to being dependent clients." The human fleet had grown to 63 operational warships, but most were still based on rebuilt alien hulls. Only the Sovereign represented purely human military engineering. Against 40 advanced Vextari vessels, the odds were not favorable, using conventional military analysis. But Captain Martinez had studied alien tactical doctrine extensively. He discovered that galactic powers had been fighting the same way for thousands of years. Their battle strategies were predictable because no one had challenged established methods successfully. They'll form traditional line formations and exchange long-range fire until one side retreats, Captain Martinez explained to his senior officers. It's ritualized warfare designed to avoid massive casualties while demonstrating technological superiority. Human tactics would be completely different. The Sovereign's advanced sensors could detect enemy ships from light years away and track hundreds of targets simultaneously. Human weapons had greater range and accuracy than anything aliens possessed. Most importantly, human artificial intelligence could coordinate attacks with precision no organic crew could match. While alien fleets relied on individual ship commanders, making independent decisions, human ships could operate as a single coordinated entity. The confrontation location was predetermined by physics and politics. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter provided neutral space where neither side could claim territorial advantage. Both fleets would meet there to determine humanity's future in galactic civilization. Admiral Hayes made the final decision about Earth's response to the alien ultimatum. "Captain Martinez, you'll take the Sovereign and 12 of our best rebuilt ships to meet the Vextari fleet. Show them what happens when someone tries to cheat humanity." The human squadron departed, Earth orbit in perfect formation. The Sovereign led the way, its massive hull gleaming with armor that incorporated the hardest materials human science could produce. Behind it flew 12 smaller vessels, each one representing the pinnacle of human military engineering. As the human ships approached the asteroid belt, long-range sensors detected the Vextari fleet emerging from hyperspace. 40 alien warships arranged themselves in the traditional battle formation, their commanders confident in their technological superiority and overwhelming numbers. "Unknown human vessels," Admiral Vexkoth broadcast across all communication frequencies. "You have exceeded the boundaries of acceptable technological development. Surrender your illegal warships immediately, and we may allow your species to continue existing as clients." Captain Martinez responded from the Sovereign's bridge, his voice calm and steady. "Negative alien vessel. You sold us broken junk and expected us to stay grateful forever. Time to show you what humans do with your garbage. The battle that followed would reshape galactic civilization. Human innovation was about to clash with alien arrogance in the most lopsided military engagement in recorded history. Admiral Vexkoth ordered his fleet to advance in standard formation, expecting the humans to retreat when faced with overwhelming firepower. Instead, the human ships accelerated toward the alien formation at speeds that should have been impossible for vessels their size. All human ships, this is the Sovereign, Captain Martinez announced over the tactical network. Remember what they sold us and remember what we built from it. Make them regret cheating humanity. The battle began at dawn Earth time, when both fleets reached optimal firing range in the asteroid belt. Admiral Vexkoth's 40 warships opened fire first, unleashing coordinated plasma volleys that had broken enemy formations for centuries. The space between the fleets lit up with brilliant energy discharges that should have overwhelmed any defense. Instead, something impossible happened. The human ships absorbed the alien fire like sponges soaking up water. The Sovereign's adaptive shielding systems analyzed each incoming plasma bolt and redirected the energy into the ship's own weapon capacitors. What should have been devastating attacks became fuel for human retaliation. Captain Martinez watched his tactical displays as enemy fire strengthened his weapons rather than damaging his ship. All ships commence firing. Show them what their technology looks like when it actually works. The human response was unlike anything seen in galactic warfare. Railgun slugs accelerated to 12% of light speed crossed the battle space in seconds. The solid projectiles hit Vextari shields with kinetic force that overwhelmed every defense. Alien armor that had withstood plasma fire for millennia crumpled like paper against human kinetic weapons. Particle beams followed the railgun barrage, cutting through damaged alien hulls with surgical precision. The concentrated energy stream severed weapon mounts and engine sections with accuracy no alien gunner could match. Human artificial intelligence calculated perfect targeting solutions faster than organic minds could process. Admiral Vexkoth watched in horror as his lead ships disintegrated under human fire. Impossible, he muttered while studying damage reports. No species develops this quickly. Their weapons are more advanced than ours. The smart missiles arrived last but proved most devastating. Each projectile incorporated human AI that adapted to alien countermeasures in real time. When Vextari point defense systems shot down incoming missiles, the surviving weapons learned from their destroyed companions and adjusted their approach vectors. Within 10 minutes of combat, beginning 15 Vextari warships were reduced to expanding debris clouds. The remaining alien vessels found themselves facing an enemy that fought with tactics and technology they had never encountered. Commander Nancy Rodriguez monitored the Sovereign's performance from her engineering station. Captain, all systems operating beyond design specifications. The enemy fire is actually improving our weapon efficiency. The adaptive shielding concept had exceeded every human expectation. Instead of simply blocking alien attacks, the shields converted incoming energy into power for human systems. The longer the battle continued, the stronger human ships became. Admiral Vexkoth attempted to rally his remaining fleet with traditional Vextari battle doctrine. All ships advanced to close range, overwhelm them with concentrated fire. But human, tactical systems had predicted this response. Captain Martinez ordered his squadron to demonstrate capabilities no alien commander had imagined possible. All ships execute pattern Delta 7, Captain Martinez announced over the tactical network. The human formation scattered in multiple directions at speeds that violated everything aliens understood about large ship maneuvering. The Sovereign executed a combat turn that should have torn apart any ship its size. Instead, human engineering and artificial intelligence coordination allowed maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. Chief Tactical Officer Ryan Campbell coordinated the human attack pattern from his station. Every human ship could communicate with every other vessel instantly through quantum communication systems. The entire squadron operated as a single organism with perfect coordination. The remaining Vextari ships found themselves surrounded by human vessels that moved faster and hit harder than anything in their experience. Traditional alien formations designed for predictable long-range exchanges collapsed against human mobility and firepower. Retreat. Admiral Vexkoth finally ordered his surviving ships. All vessels withdraw to hyperspace immediately. But human weapons had longer range than alien systems expected. Railgun slugs and particle beams reached fleeing Vex-Atari ships before they could escape. Only 12 alien vessels managed to jump to hyperspace. The rest joined their companions as debris drifting through the asteroid belt. The battle lasted 37 minutes. 40 advanced Vex-Atari warships had been reduced to 28 destroyed hulks and 12 damaged survivors. The human squadron emerged without losing a single vessel or suffering any crew casualties. Captain Martinez surveyed the aftermath from the Sovereign's bridge. Pieces of alien ships floated among the asteroids like monuments to galactic arrogance. Tactical analysis confirmed. Human military technology now exceeds all known alien capabilities. The news of humanity's victory spread through galactic communication networks faster than anyone expected. Species that had viewed humans as useful primitives suddenly faced a disturbing new reality. Earth had transformed from technological dependent to major military power in less than 3 years. Within days, delegations from dozens of alien civilizations requested meetings with Earth's government. The same races that had ignored human diplomatic overtures now competed for favorable relationships with the unexpected new galactic power. Admiral Vexkoth survived the battle when his damaged command ship was rescued by human recovery teams. Captain Martinez personally escorted the alien commander through the Sovereign's corridors, ensuring he saw human technology up close. "How did you do this?" Admiral Vexkoth asked during his brief audience before repatriation. "Your species was primitive 3 years ago." Captain Martinez smiled without humor. "You sold us rust and expected gratitude. But humans don't accept what we're given. We make it better. Your junk became our foundation, and now your superior fleets are scrap metal." The psychological impact on galactic civilization was more significant than the military victory. For thousands of years, established races had maintained power by controlling technology distribution to younger species. Humanity had broken that system completely. Ambassador Helen Carter delivered Earth's new position to the emergency session of the Galactic Council. Representatives from every major civilization attended the meeting that would reshape interstellar politics. "Humanity withdraws from all client race agreements," Ambassador Carter announced to the assembled aliens. "We're open to trade diplomacy and mutual cooperation between equals, but the days of selling us broken equipment and expecting gratitude are finished forever." The alien delegates who had conspired to keep humanity weak now faced species they could not control or manipulate. Some proposed economic sanctions or diplomatic isolation. Others suggested preemptive military action before human capabilities developed further. But intelligence reports made clear that such measures were already too late. Human shipyards were producing new vessels every month. Each ship incorporated improvements that exceeded previous designs. Earth's military capabilities were growing exponentially rather than linearly. More disturbing were reports of human exploration missions reaching previously unknown regions of space. Human sensors could detect phenomena that escaped alien notice. Human ships could travel distances that exhausted alien vessels. Humanity was expanding into areas no other race had successfully explored. Captain Martinez stood on the Sovereign's observation deck, watching construction of the next generation human dreadnoughts in Earth's expanded orbital facilities. The new ships would be larger and more powerful than the Sovereign, using technologies that existed nowhere else in known space. The message was clear to any alien civilization intelligent enough to understand it. Humanity had taken the galaxy's discarded junk and forged it into technological supremacy. The species that had attempted to cheat Earth now found themselves facing consequences beyond their worst fears. The rusty warships were remembered as the catalyst that elevated humanity from galactic dependency to interstellar dominance. Admiral E. Vexkoth's deception had backfired so completely that his own species now requested human protection from hostile neighbors. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again.